Hi, I'm Kortney, and today we're going to discuss the cause of increasing obesity in the United States and ways to combat this issue. To start off, I want to show you guys this map of the United States, which is color coded based on the percentage of individuals in each state who are obese. As you can see, every state's population is greater than or equal to 20% obese. This was very concerning to me and was part of the reason why we chose to do this topic. To dive in, let's discuss causes of increasing obesity. Common causes include diet, lack of exercise, environmental factors, health conditions, and the medications that are meant to improve these health conditions. I'm going to discuss in more detail each of these categories. Let's talk about diet and exercise. In order to be in a caloric deficit, an individual must burn more calories than they are consuming. To be in a caloric surplus and gain weight, individuals should eat more calories than they are burning. Most individuals in the United States have transitioned into a more sedentary lifestyle. They no longer need to rely on themselves to go to places. They can rely on public transportation, their cars, and this has caused for decrease in things that they do in terms of physical activity and exercise. 25% of adults get the recommended amount of exercise per week in the US. This recommended amount is 150 minutes of moderate or 75 minutes of vigorous aerobic activity plus 2 strength training sessions. This is not a lot of exercise, and only 20%, 25% of the population is getting this amount. COVID also caused individuals to sit and look at their screens more. Most individuals were transitioned to online work, which included them sitting at their laptop in their own homes. Gyms closed, leading to a sedentary lifestyle. And fast food has a big play in this. Fast food is readily accessible for most people, and the expense of fast food is very cheap. An individual who doesn't have a lot of money or spare money will go to a fast food place rather than a healthy alternative, such as a salad place, because typically fast food places that have a denser caloric value are way cheaper than a salad. So this also contributes to the caloric surplus that most individuals are having each day, leading to weight gain. Environmental factors also include low social status. Individuals experiencing deprivation, disorder, or high crime have been shown to be associated with higher odds of obesity, and these individuals usually appear in low social status individuals. In addition, the less sleep an individual gets, the more obese an individual is, typically because of the hormones that are produced. As I was discussing before with the fast foods and the different prices, there's also fast food density. So a lot of communities and areas are plagued with these fast food restaurants around them, and the easily accessibility of them allows them to have these high caloric foods, contributing to this obesity. In addition, rural areas tend to be greater distances from supermarkets and settings where they can get their exercise in. So gyms compared to urban. So therefore, individuals who are in the urban setting are more likely to walk to these places because they're in close proximity to them, allowing them to expend more calories and stay within normal weight limits. Screen time, or time spent using technology, also is a factor of obesity, and it has been proven that the more an individual spends when on their device, the greater chance they are to be obese. Illnesses and medications include Cushing's disease. Cushing's disease is fat tissue redistribution in the CS, which leads to central obesity and metabolic complications. In addition, polycystic ovary syndrome is the metabolic and hormonal issues that are present, such as insulin resistance, and this can lead to weight gain and eventually obesity. So both these conditions leading to this obesity. Steroids, antidepressants, antihistamines, and corticosteroids has also been shown to lead to this weight gain. sleep apnea, which is when you stop breathing when you're sleeping, decreased quality of sleep, producing these hormones that make you hungrier, leading to obesity. THC as well. And steroids especially cause weight gain by altering the body's electrolyte and water balances, essentially its metabolism, which causes the body to store lipids, amino acids, and proteins, as well as water, leading to weight gain.
Hi everyone, so we're going to talk about ways to combat obesity now that we know a lot of the common causes to obesity. So obesity prevention comes in three main forms, and these are individual measures, which is mainly just healthy living for oneself. There's state community programs like the REACH program or the Physical Activity and Nutrition program, which I'll talk about more later. And there's federal measures, which usually come in the form of funding for these programs like the REACH program, or there's something called the CORT program, which I'll also talk about in a minute. So we're going to start with individual measures and how to live a healthy lifestyle. Some people may not even know that they're living an unhealthy lifestyle. So ways to measure this is your BMI or measuring someone's waist circumference. And this can help predict if someone's at risk of developing obesity, or if they have obesity and they may not even know it, which will put them at risk for other comorbidities as well. So it's really important to educate people about what healthy weight is and healthy eating habits as well. So there's a website called Choose My Plate, and this website allows the consumer to look up if like nutritional information about what they're eating. And it can also help people track calories or plan meals, offer healthy recipes, and really like guide someone who maybe just wants to eat healthy but doesn't know how. So that's an educational resource as well, more focused on eating habits. But also physical activity is a really big factor in living a healthy lifestyle. And that could come more from the community measures, because if there's not the infrastructure to exercise outside, it may make people not exercise as much versus in a community where there's a lot of parks and infrastructure for physical activity. So community measures, these are specific to the state of Connecticut, so our community. And there's something called the State Physical Activity Nutrition Program, acronym SPAN. And this program was designed to implement evidence-based strategies to combat obesity. There was also the Connecticut Healthy Communities Project, which Connecticut Department of Health received $853,000 to implement food service guidelines. They implemented a farm to preschool program to prevent childhood obesity and start educating children from a very young age about healthy living. There's the Racial and Ethnic Approaches to Community Health Act, REACH, which is not specific to Connecticut. That's a federal program that Connecticut received a grant from in 2018. And that REACH program, the federal government decides each year which states they're going to give the grant to. So that varies by year, but in Connecticut, in 2018, the city of Hartford received $792,000, and SCSU, or the city of New Haven, received $719,000 for that REACH grant. And the REACH grant was really for, they tried to implement community support for breastfeeding, helping educate new mothers about what they should be feeding their kids and what they should be doing to prevent obesity. And it also increased the use of community health workers and pharmacists to make healthcare more accessible to people in those specific cities, but also all around Connecticut. So again, federal measures usually comes in the form of funding. This list is a few federal programs that are implemented or they give funding to, and it's a similar thing to the REACH Act, where they choose states to roll out and give the money to each year. So the Racial and Ethnic Approaches to Community Health is something that Connecticut got in 2018. There's also things like the Childhood Obesity Research Demonstration, Social Determinants of Health Accelerator Planning, State Physical Activity Nutrition Program, and the High Obesity Program. And then there's the CDC, which we know is the Centers for Disease Control. And the CDC does a lot about education. So they offer a lot of educational resources on their website, similar things to Choose My Plate, where they'll educate people on how to eat healthy if they don't know how, or recommendations for exercise depending on people's situation. And it's really there to help educate and help be a resource for people who have trouble preventing childhood obesity or struggle with obesity. So the CDC is a really good educational website, but federally support usually comes in the form of funding. And that's all I have for you today. Thank you for listening, and I hope you learned something today.